What I want to say is this: they'll never love you.
Really? They're protecting illegal aliens over American citizens? Not going to happen under Donald Trump's administration.
I don't like Joy Reid, not because she's a black woman, but because she's an insane lunatic racist who hates people. She is hateful. And I like documenting her because I do think there is a small percentage of truly ignorant Americans, all of them liberals, crazy woke liberals, that kind of ape her words, follow her words under her influence. And so I like documenting it on my show. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. Let's watch Joy Reid.
Haley, we all got them, all right? What I want to say is this: they'll never love you. They'll never love you. No matter what you do, they'll never love you.
I love my enemies. I love her more than she loves herself. Now, this guy, both of these people on both sides of Joy Reid are here to agree with her and back up her racism. They also are formal, hateful racists. So here's three kind of brown people that are more bigoted and more hateful of other races. Specifically, he's going to bring out Kash Patel. These three people are more hateful against other races than I've ever met in the white community. I've never met a white person who hated, let's say, blacks more than these three people hate conservative minorities.
Never wipe out that brown or black skin.
Your thoughts? Byron Donalds, who walked out after Dixie was played in New York and has no shame there. They say he's going to be the governor of Florida now.
Yeah, every community has what I call their chickens for Colonel Sanders.
So Byron Donalds is a chicken for Colonel Sanders. I've never heard a white person, I have never compared a black person to a piece of food. Now, they're going to go on and do all this Colonel Sanders fried chicken. This is weird, dark racial stuff that they freely do all the time. They talk about blacks coming off the plantation and their Uncle Toms. You know, they throw these labels around, which I'm not familiar with calling them that for going off of some kind of plantation.
Muslims had their halal chickens, the black.
Muslims have their halal chickens. That's what they call Muslims that are against Democrats.
Community has their chickens. Byron Donalds is a grown-ass black man
Byron Donalds is a grown-ass black man who calls Trump daddy.
Referred to Donald Trump as his daddy. And what I want to tell...
And I have also said, daddy's getting out his belt. That is not a symbol that Donald Trump is my master, which is what he only projects onto Byron Donalds because he's black and because these people, this Wahajat Ali, is a racist.
The Byron Donalds, and every community's got a Donald. I got a Kash Patel. I
got the Kash Patel. That's Wajahat Ali. I got a Kash Patel. Among my Indian people, he's going to imply that Kash Patel is some kind of a sellout because he is working for Trump. Look at Joy Reid in the middle here. Look at her face. How she's just sopping up this racist BS.
Nimrod, you know, we got the Haley. We all got them, all right?
Oh, Haley. Nikki Haley, another one. If you're a minority going for Trump, they've got a word for you and they've got a category for you. Nikki Haley.
What I want to say is this: they'll never love you.
They'll never love you. Trump will never love you. I guarantee you they'll never love you. What about Usha, J.D. Vance's Indian wife? Does J.D. Vance love her? Has 2 kids with her? They'll never love you. That is a weird thing to say to a minority about a white person, that white Republicans will never love minorities. We adore conservative minorities. We don't look at the skin color. And I don't hate these black liberals more than I hate white liberals. In fact, if anything, I hate the white liberals even more, just because they're even more self-destructive. Now, let's move on to even more political. I'm going to let you guys got to help me out with this one. I'm going to read this headline 3 times and then you can tell me what it means. It says, Yale professor, gay white men are actually symbols of heterosexuality. This is Pete Buttigieg and his husband, where they rented or purchased 2 babies, 2 kids. I'm going to say this headline again. You guys got to explain this to me. Yale professor, gay white men are actually symbols of heterosexuality. Third time, because I cannot make sense of this headline, my brain. You know, I've read a couple books. I've read some books. Yale professor, gay white men are actually symbols of heterosexuality. I'm not going to spend any more time on that than I have to. I don't know what that means. It's like vegetarians are actually symbols of meat eating. Marriage is actually a symbol of bachelorhood. How about that? Here's Pam Bondi on the sanctuary, warning to the sanctuary cities, more Trump winning.
Bring it on. We are going to protect Americans. When they say they're tough and they have grit, really, they're protecting illegal aliens over American citizens. Not going to happen under Donald Trump's administration. We will find illegal aliens and we will deport them in Illinois, in New York, and in other states. And you better comply with federal law or you're going to be next. We've spoken loud and clear. We are sick and tired of Americans being murdered and these states protecting illegal aliens.
Yeah. Imagine that. We're going to remove murderers. We're going to deport murderers. That's shocking these days. Pam Bondi is announcing if you're illegal, I like that this message is getting out because that's why the illegal crossings over our southern border are down 90% since Trump took office. Word's getting out. They know they're going to go to jail if they come here, so they're not going to risk it.
Talk to the family of Lake and Riley and all of these other young women and men who have been murdered by illegal aliens and see what you think then when you want to protect them.
They don't care about your kids. I wish they did. Democrats don't. They're incredibly callous to other people's suffering. Okay. And then here's the final piece I have for you here. This is on Elon Musk. So, you know, the Biden administration was punishing his business, hunting him, which is why he had to put a couple $100 million into Trump's campaign. This is to save not just Elon Musk's businesses, but I believe to save his life. I believe the Democrats would have thrown him in prison over free speech if Trump lost the election. So it was just, I just saw it as not only was Musk on board with it and excited about it, but it was also transactional. You know, can you blame a guy for just wanting to survive? Okay, let's get to the Twitter here. This is Mario Narfal, because this explains how Biden hunted Elon Musk. Common sense prevails as Department of Justice drops lawfare cases against SpaceX. So these are a bunch of SpaceX lawsuits that the Biden administration had launched against Elon Musk just for buying Twitter. They decided to go after SpaceX. How did they go after SpaceX? In a major turnaround. The Department of Justice, the DOJ, under Pam Bondi, announced it would dismiss its lawsuit accusing SpaceX of discriminating against immigrants when hiring. Now, this is something that Elon Musk talks about. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, because it was illegal for him to hire these migrants because SpaceX had some kind of it was some kind of an intelligence company that it's illegal to hire them. Okay, filed under Biden, the Department of Justice accused SpaceX of wrongly excluding asylum recipients and refugees from jobs. At the same time, Elon explained why it was a ridiculous example of lawfare. Quote, SpaceX was told repeatedly that hiring anyone who was not a permanent resident of the United States would violate internal arms trafficking laws, which would be a criminal offense. So he'd be busted if he hired people who were not residents, and then they were trying to bust him for not hiring immigrants and asylum seekers. See how this works? They say that every one of us Americans have committed a felony somewhere because there's so many laws on the books, and then they can just politically prosecute you when it's convenient, when they find out what your political party is, or if they find out that you're a white evangelical Christian, then suddenly they're going to go and look and find your felonies. But if you're a felony, if you're a crackhead on the streets of San Francisco taking a dump on the sidewalk, they are not going to find out what felonies you've committed. They're just going to let you go. They're going to wait until you're of political influence, till you're someone big like Elon Musk or someone big in Hollywood. Then suddenly it's time to audit you and look into you and find out what laws you broke. I'll continue with the last few lines of this. We couldn't even hire Canadian citizens despite Canada being part of NORAD. says Elon Musk. This is yet another case of weaponization of the Department of Justice for political purposes. Now, after months of legal battles, this Department of Justice is dropping the case with prejudice, meaning it can't be reopened if there's another party in office. And that is the kind of BS that stops now under Trump, Pam Bondi, Elon Musk. This is a huge win. I've told you guys this. Elon Musk, I think he only supported Trump. For starters, he really does have a dream of wanting to go to Mars. I think it's weird. Fine, go to Mars. But he was not going to make it to Mars under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They would have punished him and crushed his company. And Elon Musk said as much on Twitter last year. He said, if Kamala Harris wins, we will not get to Mars, period. That is, for Kamala Harris claiming to be, the Democrats claiming to be, we're pro-science, we're pro-technology. No, you would have stopped his progress from going to Mars because you're a bunch of crazy, Marxist, evil lunatics. And even your best efforts, your best intentions, this includes evangelicals that are leftist and Democrat, your best intentions kill people, destroy people, crush their dreams, expand communism, and reduce freedom. I'm Doug in exile.